The profit of thought. Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.
Peace, folks. Open your mind. Wednesday, we throw down in the digital square circle on hours of power debates. Thursday, we get at it with D.X.L, Dark Exodus Live. So come through, 9:30 p.m., right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You know.
Open your mind.
The profit of thought.
It's the new Dark Exodus Live.
D.X.L. You know.
You understand? Dark Exodus. You understand? Open your mind. You understand?
And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought Series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Once again, we are back. And tonight, as you can see from the title, running underneath the screen and the title at the bottom of the thumbnail, tonight we will be talking about the son husband married to mama. But before we get started, as always, y'all know I have to thank you good folks, man, for everything you do, man, for everything you do, you know. You know what? Let's do this here. Hold up a second. Let's do this here. There we go. Let's get that out of there, huh? Yeah. So once again, let me go ahead and thank all of you good folks, man. Like I always start the show out saying, you know, I am. What's good, brother? Dallas Cowboys, cool gent. What's good with you, brothers? I see you up there. As always, man, I like to come on here, man, and I like to thank you good people, man, for everything you do for this channel, man. You know, your subscriptions, man, your support, your views, your likes, your shares, all of that stuff, your views. Because like I always say, man, you don't have to come up on here and listen to me shoot the shit every night. You don't have to come watch these damn debates or watch D.X.L. And you damn sure don't gotta drop your hard-earned coins on this platform. But all those things I mentioned, you good folks choose to do so, man. And like I always say, man, and I've been saying for a while, everywhere I go, people know who I am. I mean, there's no way I can be, and no one doesn't know who I am, no matter what platform I go to. And I know it's not all just because of me, all right? I know it's because of you good folks out there, you good folks over here, all right? And I want y'all to know, man, that I appreciate y'all, man. I do. I don't say it to kiss your damn butts, because if you've been following me long enough, you know I don't kiss nobody's butt. I say it because I genuinely mean it. And I'm humble. I'm honored. I'm grateful, man. And I'm thankful, man, for all you good folks here and all you good folks out there as well. All right. All right. So let's get at it, shall we? Now, by now, y'all folks know that old X gets on these old mamas. Yeah. And something that I haven't discussed often is the Husb-Son. Now, we've touched on it here and there, but tonight we're going to talk about it for real. Because me, I'm a true believer that many women have turned their sons into a Husb-Son. Now, what do I mean when I say that, good folks? What I mean is, once a boy is there with his mother, especially if he's the oldest kid, and you know she's one of these old mamas, didn't know how to keep a man around. Once that boy get to be a certain age, the worst thing that she, oh, all right, Nate, I got you. The worst thing she could possibly do to a young boy is to tell him those words. Y'all know what I'm about to say. You the man of this house. How the fuck is he the man of the house? He's 7. He's not the man of anything. But once she tells him that, once she says, you're the man of the house, what does that mean? That means he's supposed to do all the things that if she had a husband, they would be doing, right? Once again, something that's totally impossible because he's 9, because he's 10, because he's 8. But these goddamn women, they raise these boys by themselves, do a horrible fucking job, an awful job, an incomplete job. Some of them don't do the job at all. They just drop them out of their old funk box and they're done. Give them a couple meals a day for the next 15, 16 years. Maybe put him on the bus when he gets to be 5. And hopefully just make sure he don't die by the time he's 18. But notwithstanding that, you have these women who have these children. And it's like you're rolling the dice. It's a crapshoot. Rolling the dice. Hoping that this motherfucker grow up to be a rapper. Hoping he grows up to be a millionaire. An NFL player. An NBA player. A tech genius. Why? Why? Because, see, she wants him to grow up and do the shit that she couldn't find a man and get him to do. And I'll go even further. A lot of them treat the kids like shit, raise the kid up in poverty, get high, get drunk, hang out, go to the club, be at the trap house, all that kind of shit. Kids are barely eating. They're barely being clothed, barely being housed, barely being supervised or monitored. So now she wants this boy to grow up, get rich, buy her a house, buy her cars, buy her clothes, take care of her. You know, something that she couldn't get a man to come around and do. Hold on a second. Can you close that door? Really? Anyway, she wants this boy to grow up and do all the things. What, Janice? Yeah, you can use profanity. Just don't use nothing crazy, because that bottle chop your damn head off. But anyway, she wants this boy to grow up, get rich, even though she had him living in the projects, barely eating, going to school with holy clothes, with his goddamn feet hanging out his goddamn sneakers. She wants him to grow up, get rich, do the shit for her that she didn't do for him. Provide her a nice place to live. Something she didn't do for you. Make sure she eating good every day. Something she didn't do for you. Buy her fancy clothes and fancy shoes. Something she didn't do for you. Buy her a nice car. The bitch probably never had a car the whole time you was living with her. She had you on and off buses and shit like that. But now that you're rich, you need to buy her a car. Buy her a house. Give her money. Make it so that she doesn't have to work. Her job is being your mom. You know, the fucking job she couldn't do when you were little. Now her job is being your mom. That's where her money comes from. Being your mom is her occupation. You know, the occupation she refused to do when you were a child. Especially if you got one of those old mammies who didn't give a shit about you. Left you home by yourself when you were 9 and 10 years old, and you had to watch your 7-year-old brother and your 5-year-old sister and your other 4-year-old brother and your 3-year-old little sister and your 1-year-old brother. You 9 and 10, you watching all the other babies. But remember, you are the man of the house, according to mama. Yeah, you're the man of the house. So when she want to go out to the club and hit the trap house or go get with some nigga she just met 2 weeks ago and try to get another one of y'all up in her damn gut, you must watch all the other babies. And these are the main goddamn women who'll say in a minute, as you grow and start, looking for women, they're the main ones who say, he want a woman just like his mama. That boy want a woman just like his mama. Yeah, just like her. Old baby mama who gets high, has multiple baby daddies, can barely house you, barely feed you, got one of you in her gut every other year. Yeah, that's what he wants. He wants a woman just like that. D.X.L, what's good with it, man? I see you up there, brother. Because, see, she's not raising a son in these instances, brothers. She's raising a husband-son. Because, see, she didn't have what it took to keep a man in her life or in yours. Let me say that again. She didn't have what it took to keep a man in her life or in yours. So now she has to raise you to be that pseudo quasi husband. She has to. Why do y'all think? And I know this will ring true with many folks. Why do y'all think that you know some old baby mamas, right? Because we all know them. It's hard to not know any. It's impossible, impossible for us as black people to not know any baby mamas, right? But if you know some of these baby mamas and their sons have grown up, they may be 20, 25, 30, 35. Somehow they're still living in mom's house. Ever wondered why? Ever wondered why they're still living in mom's basement or in mom's attic? Because she wants them there, man. She wants them there. She fucking needs them. Especially if her ass old. Black ass couldn't keep no man around. So of course she'll let you live there if you're 35. She needs you to take out the garbage. Cut the grass. Drive her whole ass around. You know, the shit that she could have got done for her by a man if she was able to keep one. But your sisters, these guys' sisters, who are younger, they can be 30 years old and have a sister in there that's 16, 17. They will kick her the fuck out at 17 while your 30-year-old ass still living in the basement. And it usually happens once the girls start to grow and start to fucking, and especially if she fuck around and have a kid, when she probably need her mama the most, she will kick her the fuck out. Yeah, she'll kick her the fuck out. But she will leave your 35-year-old ass there. Because you are a fucking Husb-Son. That is why. She needs you. She needs you there. She's groomed you for this shit. Especially if she's raised you by herself. She has groomed you to be exactly what you are. Why you think she's always telling you you need a woman like her? She wants you to rely on her. Not just her per se, but her ideal. Her fucking logic. Her ideology. She's groomed you for this shit. She's groomed you. Why? Because she's so afraid you're going to get out there and find somebody totally opposite of her. Because, see, once you do that, you get out there, you find you a woman with drive, ambition, goals, dreams, ain't got 5 kids by the time she's 24. You get out there and find somebody like that, what it does is exposes her fucking failure. So why would she want you to go out there and get somebody opposite of her? Why? Because if you get somebody who ain't like her, man, you're going to fuck around and realize that your old mama wasn't shit. And she can't have you thinking that. She needs you to worship her, man. She needs you to think the world of her. She needs you to think that when it comes to her, no one else can compare. She is what a woman is. And what people don't understand, man, is that this shit is emotional incest. At the very least, an element of it. And it gets worse. Especially when we start talking about this emotional incest shit. When you got these hoes twerking, clapping their ass cheeks in front of their 3 and 4 and 5-year-old sons. Walking around the goddamn house butt ass naked. Titties flapping. Ass out. In front of their 3 and 4 and 5-year-old sons. What do you think's going on there, man? She's grooming you to think that this shit is normal. Because if she's doing it around you when you're 4 and 5, she'll still be doing it when you're 15, 14. She'll still be doing it, man. She's indoctrinating you, man. She's brainwashing you. Because you are her Husb-Son. You are the one fucking thing that she couldn't manage to keep around. You're a male. You're a man. You're supposed to put her in front of all others. Brother Ricardo, what's good with it, brother? I see you up there, man. You are supposed to put her in front of all others. Your wife, she's supposed to be second in line to your old mammy. That's right, brother Cool Gent. That Oedipus complex is all up in black society. Why do you think people walk around here and talk about the black woman as God? Where do you think that comes from? Huh? That comes from the worship of their old mammy. Of course they think the black woman is God. They think their old mammy is God. And we've been indoctrinated to see our old mammy in other hoes. Especially the ones who ain't shit. Like her. The ones that are similar to old mom. Why do you think so many brothers find themselves caught up with these old crazy ass women? Why do you think so many brothers find themselves in situations similar to the situations that brothers went through with their old mama? Because mom has taught us that this is what we're supposed to have. Mom has taught us these are the women we should deal with. You know, the strong, independent, powerful queens. You know, those ones who never gave a fuck about you. When one of them old Negroes was coming around, you know, back when mom was pretty and curvy and looked good and Negroes want to fuck her. And you watch dudes march in and out the fucking house thinking to yourself, damn, mom must have a cigar lounge in her room. Because there's so many men marching back and forth through that motherfucker. Right? She has taught you to believe that this is what it is. She has to. Do you actually think that she would try to deter you from women like her? No matter how bad your mama is, she will never tell you, son, go out there and get you a woman that's better than your mama. You know, like we do with our daughters. You know how us men, we always tell our daughters, look, baby girl, get out there, find you a man that's better than your old man. That's what we tell our daughters. We don't want them to get somebody like us. We want them to get somebody better than us. But for some reason, these old mamas, they don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. They want somebody similar to them. And then when the whole dumps on you, the first thing your mama says, oh, I never liked her anyway. But all your life, she's been telling you to get hoes just like that. Hoes just like her. Just like her. Okay. Because she needs you, man. She needs you around. Especially if your pappy ain't in your life. And ain't in hers. Now, granted, she only starts thinking that way about you now when ain't no Negroes coming around no more. Her ass done ballooned up to 300 pounds. She can barely get up off the couch. Crow's feet, wrinkles. Goddamn titties look like she holding up 2 slices of pizza. Now, Brother Sosa, what's good with it, man? I see you up there, brother. Yeah. Once she gets there, now it's time to complete the process of transforming you into the Husb-Son. Because, see, she don't need you as a Husb-Son as long as she kind of look like something, you know? Because even though she got 9 of y'all and she kind of look like something still, shit, she don't need you to be the Husb-Son now. But, you know, she still got Negroes in and out the house, you know? They still hollering at her and trying to get with her, and she done moved a few in over the top of y'all. She don't need a Husb-Son then. Because, see, she's not thinking about all that manly shit that need to be done around the house when she's chasing Negroes. No. Because it's not like she's getting a man there to do that. All right? She's getting a man there so she can have somebody service her whole funk box. All right? And she can polish up her damn blowjob skills. Notice, if you had an old mama like that, notice how none of them Negroes that came around ever did anything around the house. They never did anything around the house. They never cut the grass. They never took out the garbage. If she had a car, them old Negroes never fixed it for her. When shit broke around the house, none of them never fixed it. She just had a Negro there. He walking around in the house, eating up y'all Cheerios and shit. Eating up y'all Apple Jacks and goddamn eating up your damn fruit snacks and shit like Brother Nate be saying. He walked around and did that. She wasn't thinking about those manly duties when she had those Negroes coming in the house. No. Never crossed her mind. But boy, once the niggas stop coming around, and boy, once she can't get that phone to ring, and once she realized that, damn, nobody want my ass. Now it's time to get ready to complete the process of building the Husb-Son. Because like Brother Cool Gent said in the chat, we already got this Oedipus shit going on in black society anyway. We're in love with our old mammy. Mostly because a lot of us, let's be honest, that's all we had. That's all we had. So of course, you want to serve mama. You have no problem being mama's Husb-Son. You actually start to take on the mantle. You start saying that shit to yourself. Yeah, I'm the man of this house. Yeah, you're the man of the house. Ain't got a dollar in your damn pocket. Don't own shit. Can't do nothing. A lot of Negroes can't even turn a screwdriver. But somehow, some way, mama has convinced you that you are the man of the house. But she has to tell you this, doesn't she? Because if she doesn't tell you this, man, you can't be her Husb-Son. She's not going to tell you go out there in the world, explore your options, open your horizons. find a nice wife that ain't like her black ass. It's not going to tell you any of that. She needs you there. She needs you dedicated to her. She has to do it. And she's hoping that you don't leave. She's got mirrors in the house. She's 40. She's 45. She know ain't nobody coming and getting on bended knee. Especially if you one of 9 bastards in the house. Definitely not. She know that that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. Because see, what a lot of women don't understand is when you got a man living with you, your motherfucking life is a lot easier. Yeah, it's just easier. Because guess what? All that shit you can't do, won't do, ain't capable of doing, the man usually does it. That's just the truth. So, of course, she wants you there. But see, that's the thing. She hasn't taught you to be the type of man that she needs. You can understand what I'm saying. I know it sounds like I'm double talking, but she hasn't taught you to be the man that she needs. She hasn't taught you to be a man's man. She hasn't taught you to be a man that can fix shit around your house. She hasn't taught you to be a man who can work on her old raggedy car. She hasn't taught you to be a man that can do the things that us men do. She's made you effeminate, soft, made your ass stupid. Especially if you was raised by her, your grandmama who was nothing but old baby mama herself, and your ratchet aunts. You think like a woman. You probably sat down to piss until you was 16 and realized you had a dick and not a funk box. You probably didn't figure that shit. You probably didn't even figure out that you had a fucking penis until your ass was like 15. One of your friends told you that shit. Like, yo, man, you probably came to his house one day and y'all went in the bathroom and he saw you sit down to piss. And he probably was like, yo, man, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, man? What are you doing? You told me you had to take a piss, not take a shit. Why are you sitting down? That's when you realize, wait a minute, I got a penis? You mean to tell me I've got a penis? Damn, I had no idea. One of your friends hit you off with that valuable piece of information. That's because all your motherfucking life, you've been married to mama. Been married to mama, man. I'm sorry to break the news to you. You've been married to your old black ass mama. And it's not your fault. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Y'all know who I blame. These. Old mamas. Because she did this shit on purpose. She did it on purpose, man. Yeah, she did. She did it on purpose. She knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that if she raised you to think that she was your mama and your daddy, she knew that would emasculate you. She knew that if she raised you to believe that women are everything in black society, to further emasculate you. If she raised you to believe that men ain't worth a damn, she knew that that would also emasculate you. She knew exactly what she was doing, man. She knew exactly what she was doing. It was no mistake. She knew exactly what she was doing to you. Oh, shit. I see my man Nate down there. Go ahead and bring my man up in here. Brother Nate, my brother. What's good with it, man?
Brother Xavier, how you doing this evening, man?
Good, man. I'm good, man. What you got for me, man?
I was just listening to your monologue, man. I didn't know when to jump in. I didn't know when to I mean, I'm sitting listening to Brother Xavier, man. I gotta be honest, I've never given a lot of thought to this subject. I can see how it's a problem. You know, to me, it seems like these single moms, and not just black single moms, but like all races of single moms, they can raise like 4 different types of men. Okay, they can raise an unproductive pretty boy, which is like the Husb-Son. They can raise a hyper masculine criminal. They can raise a homosexual, and they can raise a decent, hardworking man.
Yep.
Now, I'm not privy to what percentage of each these single moms are raising, but when you look at the fact that 3 out of the 4 men serve no purpose to the black community, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I like to think of myself as a solutions guy. I think most men are problem solvers, but man, I honestly don't know how you solve this problem. You know, you got the pro black brothers out there, you know, mentoring and working in the community. But a big problem I have with them is they won't address the problems that these women are causing. It's kind of like you have this huge open wound in your knee, right? And the blood's dripping down your shin and pooling up around your foot. And the pro blacks, they just keep wiping up the blood that pools up around your foot. They never suture up the wound. They're not doing what they need to do to stop the bleeding. They just keep on cleaning up the blood that pools up at the bottom. You understand what I'm saying? So without telling these women they have to stop engaging in these behaviors, and then if you try to tell them that, they come at you, you trying to tell me who I can sleep with, you trying to tell me what to do. And then some of the dudes will be like, oh, you just mad because you can't screw these women up. Like, look, man, first of all, I don't want to mess with those women. Those are not the kind of women I'm interested in. And it's a tough one, man. I've seen pictures, these moms taking these, like the moms in like a swimsuit, the sons in his little trunks taking a picture, and just all these weird, inappropriate things that moms end up doing with their sons when there's no man around. And how do you stop it, man? How do we stop this shit? I honestly have no clue. I have
Well,
no, other than cutting off welfare completely.
well, I'll even go even further than that. I mean, because, once the kids are here, they're here. We can say, hey, look, don't have them, don't do this, don't do that. Fine. But once the kids are here, they're here. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of these fucking women have no business with kids at all.
True.
I'm a true believer that the other men in the family, if they're competent, like their brothers, their uncles, their grandfathers,
Absolutely.
should take these fucking boys away from these hoes. That's what I believe.
But then what happens? You free them up just to go make more children until they can't
Yeah,
make any more children anymore.
yeah, that too. That's the problem.
It's like we got to throw some chastity belts on these broads or something, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Shoot them. You know how the hunters had those blow guns and they have the tranquilizer.
Blow dart.
We have the tranquilizer with the blow dart. Just put a sterilization dart in that motherfucker, and when you take the sons, hit her with one of them damn sterilization darts. You ain't having no more damn kids neither, goddamn it. Hit her with that damn dart. I mean, because see, this is the thing, right? When you have, because a lot of these women who raise these sons who grow up not to be shit, right? Let's be honest. These women are fucking incompetent. All right, these are some incompetent ass motherfucking women. Now, no one wants to call it out because, mama's God. She's the golden calf. No matter what she do, she could smoke crack. She could sell you for crack. She could fuck the Negroes in front of you and let them rape you every night. And somehow when you grow up, you're still saying, the black woman is God. I don't know how that's possible. But beside all of that, right, you have these women who have taught these boys to worship them, right? So what has to happen is these boys, that cycle has to be broken. Now, what often happens is that a lot of these men, not all of them, but a lot of them, once they get away from mama, and when I say get away from mama, I don't mean just go and live with some other hoe. I'm talking about getting away from mama for real, like go to the military, go to, somewhere where you have to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
When they go through that shit and come back, they come back with a different perspective. All right. Now, if they leave mama house, if they ever decide to crawl up out of mom's basement, usually what happens is they just make their way to some bitch couch. Because, see, they have become the very men, or should I say mama has turned them into the very men that mama complains about. Mama talks about how men ain't shit. Mama talk about how, men ain't loyal and men ain't men and all this kind of nonsense. But she done fucked around and groomed the very same thing that she's been complaining about ever since this boy was a child.
Yeah, they make the men that they hate. They make them.
Exactly.
It's madness, man.
She's created a ain't shit person. She's created this goddamn dude who ain't gonna be no good to nobody at no time. So if he do manage to leave mama house, all he gonna do is head somewhere else looking for mama. Because that's where he going. Because a lot of these dudes, believe it or not, they find these women, man, and these women are just like their damn mamas. Because, see, they worship her too. Because they've been taught to worship mama. So they see mama in these chicks. They do.
How many videos have you seen of some large woman whooping on her skinny little boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. It's even though the guy moved into her apartment with her and her children, mm-hmm. He drives her car. He goes into her purse for gas money for her car. He drops her off at work. He runs the streets in her car. And how many times have we heard a guy got kicked out?
Mm-hmm.
Can't nobody kick me out of my house?
Hell no.
How are you getting kicked out of someplace where you live? The only way that could happen is if you're not the man of the house, if you're not paying the bills there. How you getting kicked out of someplace? We hear that shit all the time. I'm always hearing about some nigga got kicked out of this, or he got kicked out of his girl. My girl put me out. How the fuck does that even happen?
Man, how'd she do that?
How does that even happen, bro?
How did she put you out?
How did she put you out? That's insane, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
It's bizarro world. Everything's upside down, man. I mean, how are you a man and you're comfortable moving into a woman's apartment? You're comfortable driving around in her car. You're comfortable doing this. You know, that whole Jody from whatever that movie was with Tyrese.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the movie. Baby Boy.
Yeah, Baby Boy. Baby Boy.
Yeah, man. That's a horrible way for a man to live, dude. I mean, a constant state of emasculation. You can't give no orders. You can't give no direction to anybody. You're just stuck following her.
Yep.
And nothing's gonna go right when you're following her. Nope. I'm sorry. Nothing's gonna go right, man. And that whole mentality, unfortunately, it comes out of, being raised by mama. Mm-hmm. That's what it comes. And oh man, even in my own personal story, dude, like in the last 3 or 4 years, I've found out things about my own mother. I'm not going to go into. I think every man needs to take an honest look at his mother. Take an honest look at her. You don't, just don't automatically dismiss the bad things people might have said about her, other family members. There's always two sides to a story. When we're growing up, you say anything about our mamas, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm. We ready to throw down.
You ready to fight?
Yeah,
man. You'll bloody a brother's nose over some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And you got some mothers out there, single mothers, that do make the sacrifices, that do focus on the development of their children, that do push away the idea of entertaining all these different men. But unfortunately, with each passing decade, more and more of these women are doing the opposite of what's right. That they got guys in and out. I mean, this epidemic of molestation, so much of it comes out of the fact that these women are just bringing men around their children that have no business around them, dog. Mm-hmm. It's not the girls' biological fathers doing this to them.
Nope.
It's random dudes that the mom's bringing around. And the girl grows up to hate men instead of being mad at her mother. The girl grows up and turns into a lesbian in response to what her mother allowed to happen to her. Mm-hmm. Man, I wish I had some answers, man. I really do.
Well, people in the chat room have said, well, what about the fathers?
Oh, I can address that.
Yeah, fine. Let me tackle it, then you can jump on.
Okay, gotcha.
I can give you that argument, right? You say, okay, the father isn't there. Fine. I'll give you that argument. But how does that explain the abuse? How does that explain the neglect? How does that explain children being molested by these creeps that mama traipse in and out of the house? How does that explain any of that? The father's not there. So you want to blame him for the abuse, the neglect, the mistreatment, the lack of focus on these children's education. I mean, how can you blame the old man for that? That's on her, what she's doing. That's on her when she's abusing these children, beating these children, neglecting these children. That is on her. That's something she has decided to do. has nothing to do with the father. Especially when you're talking about the shit that she does. The shit that she does to those children is on her. Has nothing to do with the father. Nothing at all. Now, I'll go even further. I will grant you the argument that if the father was around, a lot of this shit probably would not happen. But we can't turn around and blame the child's father, who's not there, for the mistreatment, the neglect, the abuse, the lack of focus on the education. I can go on and on and on and on and on. We can't blame the father for that. Father has nothing to do with that. Because like you said, he's not there. So we have to stop blaming the people who aren't around. We can't blame the people who aren't around. Her black ass is there. She's there. Because guess what? If that child lived with his father and the father was doing this shit, you wouldn't have a motherfucking way to blame the mama. You wouldn't be able to come up with any excuse to blame his old mammy for what's going on. Because the first thing you would say is, oh, well, y'all can't blame her. She wasn't even living there. It's the first thing y'all would say. So don't sit up here and tell me that we need to be blaming the father for the shit that the old mammy do. But go ahead, Brother Nate. And we've been joined by my brother BMT as well. We're going to go to him. But go ahead, Brother Nate.
Yeah, Brother CJ, I need you to listen close to me, man. A woman chooses the father of her children. If I leave my house and I leave my door wide open and I drive off to go to work and somebody walks into my house and takes everything out of it, the person that did that is wrong. But I'm also wrong for not securing my home. These women don't secure themselves. They let men into their lives that don't have the capacity to father. These women never have conversations about family with these men. They never have conversations about, how do you treat the children you already have? They don't take any due diligence before they decide to let this dude bust off in them raw. It's the woman's fault. No man can make a woman a single mother, especially when you have abortion available to you. And I'm against abortion. I want to be clear on that. But women have 20 different types of contraceptives. They have the morning after pill. They have the ability to leave the baby on the firehouse steps. They have adoption. They have abortion. They have all the different options in the world that would prevent them from becoming a single mother. You got to stop making excuses for these women. There's a gentleman by the name of Obsidian, and he has a saying. I don't know if he made it up, but it's definitely apropos. And he says, you can't turn a cad into a dad. A cad is a womanizer, a ladies' man. And these women lust after those type of guys. They have unprotected sex with them, and then they want to turn these guys into fathers. And they never had any intention of ever being a father. Most of them didn't have fathers. It is 100% the woman's fault, period. Now, once those men get those women pregnant, they have responsibilities, true. But why didn't the woman do her due diligence in making sure that the man she's with wants a family and is able to be a proper father? And is he a father to the children that he has already? These women don't do any of that. You got to stop letting these women get away with this shit, man. You got to hold them accountable. That's it.
Well, and I'm about to go to my brother BMT. See, a lot of us, we're this way. We will defend mama at all costs. Do you know that I know people, man, that I grew up with, man, where their moms and shit smoked crack and left them home by themselves and also kind of bullshit. And their first line come out of their mouth is, mama did the best she could. Which you know is a fucking lie, because see, if mama did the best she could, you wouldn't fucking be saying that. But anyway, brother BMT, what's good with it, brother?
Not too much. I guess we're looking at the Husb-Son or the Husband-Son. Yeah, that happens. That happens quite a lot. I just finished talking with a man from the 1950s. That's nothing new. That's been happening for a while. Usually, when a man gets killed off, sold, or whatever, the son ended up becoming the husband. But then it got worse with the crack era. We're looking at it right now, especially in this day and era, where the some of the mothers, they're making their sons into husbands or husband sons or whatever they want to call them these days. I don't put it all on a woman. I don't, because literally it takes two. Anybody to think that's kind of stupid, because literally, I mean, you got a condom, put on the condom. You know you ain't gonna deal with that broad. Same thing, like she's gonna kill that child. It's fucking bad all around. As long as we've been going right now, the dysfunctional type of people that we've been seeing, with all these, like, these women getting these abortions, and we seen. I just did a video with men, like I think like 5 dudes who made like 80 children, all in Memphis. So, these dudes ain't slowing down. You know what I'm saying? These dudes ain't slowing down. Shit, some of them be in this damn space of this YouTube right now. So these are husbands, sons right here. They make their money and live with their mama right now, and they be doing YouTube channels. So I'm very wary of what a lot of them say. They'll say it here, but they won't say it to their mama. But in looking at a lot of that, ain't none of them they'll call out the woman in the street, but they won't call out their mama. Exactly. They won't call out their mama. And so, this kind of dysfunctional behavior is grown, but at the end of the day, these type of men, the way how they're going about running in the streets, you might get a few that actually they will leave the home. They might, actually do something with their life, or say, you know what, this type of mindset is not conducive to them. You know what I'm saying? But also, you got a lot of them, if that type of pharaoh mindset is built upon, then they'll consistently fail. And honestly, that's why we're seeing a lot of these irrational behaviors, a lot of these effeminate men show up. You know what I'm saying? They're like the weakness and the cancer, just like the women. The women can't have no power but what a man gives her. And literally, these mamas that told these men, told these boys and their sons that literally, that guess what? You're not powerful unless you have that of a woman. So that's their power, is that having that of a woman, or being close to that of the bosom of a woman. And so when they think like that, you can tell that the mentality is skewed, their behavior. Oh, well, sorry you can't tell her that, Ricardo. Well, shit. I mean, like I said, my mom has issues too. Like me and my mom,
hold on a second. I disagree, brother Ricardo, and I'll tell you why, man. I've talked about this a lot. You've been following me a while, and I think that brothers need to confront this shit and confront their old mama, whether she dead or alive, because that's the only way you can be free. I tell you what you do. If your mama treated you like shit and her ass is dead now, I'm sorry for that, because I want you to be able to tell it to her in her face. But what you do, you sit on the side of your bed, you sit at your table, and you talk to her ass like she's standing right in front of you. And you talk to her like she's standing right there, and you say, Mom, I remember all the bullshit you did. And you know what? I forgive you, but I ain't forgot about it. Because, see, that's the conflict we have as black men. We are caught up between forgetting and forgiving. We're caught up between hating and loving. We're caught because, see, a lot of us, we want to hate our old mammy, but something inside of us won't let us do it. Even though mama did some really hate-worthy shit to us. She did some shit to us that if anybody else did it, not only would we hate them and despise them, we wouldn't have shit else to do with them. Who's beat you more than your mama? Who's neglected you more than your mama? Who's left you to your own devices more than your mama? Who has downed you, tore your ego apart, told you you won't shit, told you you look like your daddy? Who's done all these things to your self-respect more than your mother? Who has attacked your self-esteem more than your old mama? Who's done more things to you that you can't figure out why they did it more so than your mama? You know why? Because you was around her black ass probably more than you were ever around anybody. And boy, she did it to you every goddamn chance she got. Every chance she got.
That's true. And the thing about that, X, is, see, one of the things about a lot of these men here, or a lot of these men that I've seen in these spaces, is your daddy ain't shit. They'll always tell a lot of these young men, your daddy ain't shit. And so what you speak is what a lot of these young men build into, or they actually believe in the hate and the hatred and fulfillment of how they view other men or place authority. See. And so the anger starts to build up and fester, you know what I'm saying? Because they feel that, hey, since I'm a vagabond or a bastard of the world, so shall I be. And see, that becomes that guard dog, that viciousness, that sword of her wrath, because literally she can't control that young man after so long. So he literally becomes that of a bane to society or functional men. And it gets harder for other men to want to deal with or talk to or try to handle these young men, because literally he's on consistent attack mode, because literally he's mentally battling himself. Plus also, like, he has that, see, a man teaches his son how to have temperance, of control of his emotion and behavior. You don't get that because a woman, for the most part, is driven off of emotions. So the son never got the balance of the temperance. That's why a lot of men, they don't deal with their child too much until after the boy gets older. Then after that's when the father steps in and starts to actually critique the son and start teaching him. Like, I teach my son, like, hey, like, if he falls, I say, get up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think, well, you're harsh, or, son, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna knock you in your face. Now, my wife will think, well, that's too harsh. I'm like, no, he understands that there's a contentious of authority. You step out of line. Listen, my mom has done a lot of fucked up shit. But one thing I learned how to do was actually confront my demons. Was it an emotional and turbulent time? It would have been easier for me to go stand at a gun point blank in my face, talk to a white man, than dealing with that. But see, I understood that if I did not do that, I don't get no peace. And see, a lot of men don't really have peace because they are still tethered to that of the will of their mama or their actual wife, which is their mother. This is why they have problems with dealing with other women. This is why they have problems with making mistakes. They're choosing their wives or their baby mamas and all that shit, or their failed relationship, off of the contentious pretext of their mother. And see, when they keep on, it's like they're trying to do, it's like, I couldn't save mama, but I can try to save this bitch. And so, in seeing that, hearing what a lot of these guys say, I bet you if you were to compare their baby mama or their ex-wife to their mama, they would literally match the fuck up. And literally, because literally, that's the type of woman that they trying to resave over. Hell, some of them will literally choose their mother's say over what they say. And so now you got it where dads want to be mommies, man. Why? Because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why y'all want to be a mom too? Well, I can raise a child like that woman can. I'm like, no, nigga, like you now, it's like the full circle complete. You're talking single parent talk. Why are you talking like a single parent? Like, this is how dysfunctional. It's like the philosopher's stone has finally been fulfilled, where at one time the woman was talking about single parenting. Now we got so many bastard children. The daughters think that, hey, fuck, this is normal. You got it where the boys are taking their doggone child to either mama or some older adult, or now you got it where they're like, well, shit, I want to be the parent. And I'm like, well, fuck. Y'all all want to be single parents? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm seeing a collide of, like, but this community shit of single parenting, it's not normal. It's really not. Now, I understand certain circumstances, things happen. But this single parent mindset shit of praising and worship, I was hearing bitches talk about this shit. Now I'm hearing dudes want to be single parents. Now I'm seeing doggone the gossiping and the slutting and shit and the hoeing and stuff and tricking. Like, that's bitch talk. That ain't what that's not the art of being a man. But I understand that literally. I said, oh, that bitch literally took a hand over y'all. She literally put her hand on y'all. So it's like the virus. It's like a movie of the virus that literally some people think that they may have got away from the serial killer, but their PTSD of contentious being fucked up has been done by that woman. So they don't actually know how to move on because they're still trying to prove to that female bitch that I did it. I could give a fuck like what a woman thinks or trying to prove my merit to my mom or any other woman that did me wrong. Like, I don't give a fuck about them. I'm moved on. I'm making my moves. You know what I'm saying? That's why I cam up on what I do, because literally I move in power. Like, my mom just tried, Joe, I need you to do that. Take that to your man. That's between you and your man. You know, I'm not your man. Shit, I told that to my mom. I said, you asking me to help you cut this grass. Call your husband. Call your husband. Or you could pay me. I'm your son. I don't mind helping you. But you need to call your husband on that. Not your husband. See, I don't mind checking that shit. Some guys, they won't do that shit. They talk the good greasy shit. But they literally behind closed doors, they may have a girl, a side bitch, or some tricks, but literally they are still married to their fucking mama. And literally, this is where the community is at now. Like, a lot of people, the daughters, they missing out on daddy. They're missing out on daddy. The sons, they want to be like their mama. That's the new manly role model. Mama. Look at it. The biggest icon hero to them is LeBron James. That's one of the most emotional motherfuckers on the goddamn court. He don't get his way, he holds out and goes to another goddamn team. But black men love him. Most of the biggest players that literally have the most emotional problems are all from single parent households. You ain't see not one time them ever bring a father out there with them. You ain't see not one time they ever brag about what their father has done. But they can only tell you about what their mama has done. That's how this really fucked up.
In all honesty, what's funny about how those NBA and NFLers are, I mean, the mom brought you to practice, but it was the mentor that taught you how to play. The mom might have got you to practice, but it was the coach that trained you up and helped you develop your skills. I mean, mom got you to practice, basically. That's it. She got you to practice most of the time. You know, she showed up at most of the games, but bringing you up and helping you develop your skills and talents and making you that dominant force in whatever sport you play, your mother didn't have anything to do with that. Nothing.
Absolutely.
It was the men. the men that in your life that brought you up that way. And if you had a father, it was your father that was outside practicing with you and shooting with you and tossing that ball with you. But yeah, of course, mom gets all the credit. Mom gets all the credit.
Of course, because and not even that. A lot of these old mamas didn't even do that.
That's
If you
true.
if you got a brother who grew up in poverty, grew up in the projects and all that kind of shit, and he grew up to become LeBron James or Floyd Mayweather or Eddie Murphy or whoever, usually it's because that boy had some type of men in his life, whether it be an uncle, a grandfather, a coach, a karate instructor, shit, the janitor at the fucking library. It's usually because some man came into this boy's life and gave him counsel, guidance, instruction, training. Mama ass didn't do any of that. Mama didn't do any of that. Mom wasn't out there throwing the ball with that boy. Mom wasn't out there helping him work on his jump shot or his dribble.
Not at
Mom
all.
wasn't doing any of that shit. She wasn't. While he was trying to develop himself, mom was somewhere else getting another brother or sister for him in her damn gut. She wasn't trying to help him do any of that shit. But as he grows up, now the onus is on him to make a better life for mama. And like I said earlier, something mama could not do for him when he was a child. She couldn't make a better life for that boy. She couldn't get that boy out of the ghetto. She couldn't make sure that boy had a decent place to live, a decent clothes, a decent bed to sleep in, decent food to eat. But now that he's been drafted, only because men have come into his life and gave him the skill set to be drafted, to be picked, to be hired. Now mama wants to turn around, benefit off of that, and have all the things done for her by her son that she was never able to do for her son. And that's the rub. All the things that she never even made an attempt to do for this child when he was a child, now that he's a grown man and he's got money, he's obligated to do it for mama, for the simple fact that he fell out of her old bunk box. But go ahead.
No,
Man.
well,
Go ahead, BMT.
well, one of the things about it is this, and we can pull out the new edition and different other stuff. Children are opportunities. Children are opportunities that are used and abused. If that's why, and literally that's just the whole thing about it. When I look at this community and these spaces and shit, it's just opportunities. A lot of these men, I think some of them are starting to figure out that they were no more than just a bargaining chip. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That they were probably used for a come up. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's mom probably figured out that, hey, he got some talent. Put him in basketball. Keep having to run that ball. He literally starting to score points. And literally, guess what? Now all of a sudden, now they made the money. A lot of these men, I think that's what hurts for them, is they're finding out that they were no more put on this earth as a bargaining tool. She couldn't control the man, so control the next best thing, the son. Say, make sure you take care of me. You look out for me. Like DJ Academics. He bought his mama a house. A lot of these men, look at Drake. A lot of these boys were raised by their mothers, and they will, regardless of how fucked up their mother will get, they will simply always, they will bite off or destroy anything that gets there. That's why, like I said, that's why I said, man, like it's you're in a uphill battle. That's why you're looking at it when you look at a lot of these things now. It's a bad game. A lot of these black men are now understanding that, paying off, and they're trying to cop up the debt. You know what I'm saying? If you ask, and I'm wondering, you can ask how many young boys have their social or their accounts been used for a light bill. By the time they get 18, they don't know shit about credit. They don't. I've even talked to grown men that don't know shit about no damn. I mean, you might meet a few in these spaces, but honestly, when it come down to talking about business, you're like, how don't you know that shit? And you're like, oh, because they're missing pieces, the gaps in their fucking life, man. And because they're only pack mules. You know what I'm saying? You might get a brother like Big Nate that, he's been in his kids' lives and he has more influence. But that's literally a minority. That's a minority type of thing. You got it where now we praise single parenting. You know what I'm saying? When that's literally, even now, like, I'm like, yo, dude, like, we badly are fucked up, man. We're badly fucked up. And now it's actually spreading out and influencing other countries, other places of the world, that this is being normalized. That kids are opportunists. Your kid is, but definitely in the Western culture, it's an opportunist type of thing. So,
what's interesting is when you look at like this problem with young black men being maniacal, being scheming, being slick, the whole finesse movement. These are all feminine traits. They're all feminine characteristics. Manipulating someone out of something is feminine. All these cats running their scams and their credit card scams, this scam, that scam. Men that have no idea how to just put together a plan, execute a plan, setting a goal, bringing a vision to fruition. I mean, man, when you leave these children's fathers out of their lives, man, you're sentencing them to a horrible life. I mean, their masculinity never develops. These young girls, their femininity never develops. They never become true women. It's a mess, man. It's just a mess.
Yeah,
it is. Because, see, this is the thing. When you're married to mama, right? You have been put into a bubble. You have been surrounded by probably more people just like her friends, her sisters, your aunties, her mama, your grandmama. So she's this way, so there's a pretty good chance that all the other people that you are around are also that way. So it's not just indoctrination. You have been cultured, man. You have been brainwashed to think the way you think. Because, see, mama has programmed you like a little robot. And she starts it very, very early on in your life. She starts it very early on. So by the time you're a teenager, your head is good and soft because, boy, she's beat that motherfucker ever since you could walk and talk. So now you absolutely think that mama's God, that mama can do no wrong, that mama knows everything. Mama knows best. Whatever mama say is the gospel. Why? Because she's trained you to believe that. She's trained you to believe that all she has to do is say, I'm your mama, and that is clearing her of all sin. Whatever it was, no matter how big the sin is, no matter how bad the sin affected you, no matter how detrimental her actions were on your life. She say, I'm your mama, That clears it all. That's like penance. That's like repenting. When she says that, I'm your mama, you supposed to forget about all of the shit that she's done to you. And not only that, you're supposed to forget about all the shit she didn't do for you. Let me say this again. You're supposed to forget all the things your old mammy has done to you. And you're also supposed to forget all the things she didn't do for you as well. Because make no mistake, man, a lot of these boys who grow up, it's not just the shit mama did to them, the way she abused them, the shit she allowed to happen to them. A lot of it is the shit she didn't do. She didn't sacrifice so you can have a decent pair of sneakers to wear, or decent clothes to have on, or a fucking bed that you didn't have to share with 6 other people. She didn't do the shit to make sure you had a meal every goddamn day. She didn't do the shit to make sure you had a decent place to live. Why you think you lacked it so damn much, man? And a lot of us, and I said this before, a lot of us brothers grew up thinking that all the shit that happened to us was our fault. And it wasn't, man. It was hers. You were a kid. You had no control over how you lived, how you ate, whether or not you had clothes. You weren't in control of that. She was. That's why it was so fucked up. You understand? She was, man.
Man. Well, I mean, what do you propose? What can be done about it? Do you have any idea? Any suggestion?
Well, my suggestion is pretty much the same. First and foremost, brothers, I think we should be choosing to be fathers as opposed to just becoming fathers on some old oops baby shit. Don't become a father if you don't want to become a father, because I believe us brothers, we have control over ourselves. So if you want to be a father on purpose. Don't be a father on some oops shit. But if you happen to become a father on some old oops shit, because you done fucked around and stuck your penis somewhere where you weren't supposed to be sticking it, I mean, it happens. We're men. Now that I will not hold against you. I won't. We're men. We make these dumbass decisions sometimes. But if you done stuck your penis in one of these old hoes that you know ain't shit, and you leave that kid with her to raise, now that I will hold against you. I will hold that against you. Especially if you know this woman ain't shit.
What do you feel about ending public assistance? Period.
Fine.
Cold turkey. Zero. None.
Get rid of it.
Wow.
Get rid of it. Go ahead and get rid of it. Because see, if you do that, Brother Nate, if you do that, we will see a change of tide like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I think in 10 years, a lot of shit could be reversed. In about a decade, you'd have so many fewer of these types of children and these types of situations. Now, if there was no money, if there's no phone, if there's no $35 apartment, yeah, these broads will tighten up real quick.
$35 apartment.
See, these broads got $35 apartments. $35 apartment.
I wish I could get a $35 apartment. I'd move right in that motherfucker.
And They get a $35 apartment, and instead of saving the difference between the normal price of the apartment and what they're paying, and then getting the hell out of that community, they stay there for the next 15, 20 years, and all of their sons die. You heard about that rapper in Chicago, F Duck or Duck
Yeah,
something?
FBG.
FB Duck. Do you know two more of his brothers died before him?
Yeah.
His mother lost 3 of her sons in Chicago.
Yeah.
And these women, dude, if I lost, God forbid, man, I lost one of my children, man, I would lose my shit, dog. There's no way, especially if it happened in my house or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. There's no way I could still live here. These
Man,
broads,
if a motherfucker shoot my dog in my neighborhood, I'm open. Let alone somebody motherfucker done shot not one kid, but 2 kids of mine, and I still live in the same fucking neighborhood. But this is what we talk. This is the shit we're talking about, brothers. Like, I've seen, especially when you talk about Chicago, I've seen one story out of Chicago years ago where all 5 of this woman's kids had gotten killed in Chicago, and not only did she never leave the goddamn city, she never left that fucking house. She lived in that same house and watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of her motherfucking kids be killed, and never thought to herself, well, maybe I should move out of this motherfucker. Maybe this is too dangerous. You know, if you didn't do it on the first one, how about the second one? You didn't do it on the second one. How about the third one? You didn't do it on the third one. How about the 4th one? When you're left with 1 kid, you got to say to yourself, hey, maybe I need to get the fuck out of here. But they won't do it. And see, as a young man, you're married to mama, okay? Even though your ass 35, she still lives there. So, of course, you still do too. Because, see, you're married to mama. So, your black ass ain't trying to move out of there either. You want to stay, I need to stay around my mama. Why, motherfucker, she gave birth to you 35 years ago. The damn umbilical cord shouldn't still be attached, Negro. Go ahead.
You know what's scary? If you think about it, when she lost that first one, you know how much attention and love and sympathy she got? She probably thought, wow, this is great. I'm the center of attention. And then the second one happened. Oh my God, you're so strong. How do you survive through this? She loved that attention. The third one goes, oh my goodness, 3 children. How do you, oh, you're so strong. I could see that shit. I could see her soaking up all that attention, all that admiration, all the sympathy. I could see her soaking all that up too, by each one of her children's death. Man, ooh, this is some scary shit, though.
Yeah, it is, man. And unfortunately, man, a lot of young men, this is their fucking life, man. This is their existence, Brother Nate. This is their, we get up here and we talk shit and all that, but I mean, man, there's people probably right in this chat who grew up just like that. Grew up with old mammy, couldn't keep their daddy around. They lived their whole life listening to their old mama tell them how, your daddy ain't shit. He don't want you. He hates you. And all this kind of nonsense. And they groomed this boy and told this boy, hey, look, you need to look out for mama. You need to keep mama's secrets. You need to do X, Y, and Z for mama. So as he grows into this, it's like a goddamn puppy, I think about when I first got my dog. I mean, he was a little puppy, man. He was a tiny puppy. I held him in one hand, but he had feet the size of my goddamn fist on this little old dog. But see, eventually what happens? He grows in to the feet.
Yes.
So what they do is they groom these boys and they put these big old feet on them and they say, you're the man of this house. You need to look out for mama. You need to keep mama secrets. I'm your mama. Mama can do no wrong. Do as I say, not as I do. You know, you hear that whole litany of shit. So eventually you start to grow into those feet. Those feet don't look as big no more. So now this is your life. That's why you have brothers walk around repeating the same shit they mama say. Mama did the best she could. Oh, I love my mama. Don't nobody come before my mama. Oh, my mama held me down. Oh, my mama did this. When you hear motherfuckers saying that shit, you know that they had the exact type of mama that we're talking about tonight. The mama who groomed a husband-son. Because, see, if that wasn't true, they wouldn't be saying it. They wouldn't be saying it. Notice, you never hear me get up here and say, oh, my mama did the best she could. Man, get the fuck out of here. All that is a motherfucking deflection. That's a cover line. Because, see, that's the cover for all the bullshit they mama did to them, the bullshit they mama allowed to happen to them, the bullshit that their mama did not do for them, the fucking lack of focus on the child's education, the child's development, the child's welfare, the child's frame of mind, the condition that the children were living into. See, they say that mama did the best she could. In other words, mama did as little as she could. Because, see, if mama did the best she could, you wouldn't even be fucking saying that. Can't say that enough. And these are the people who get mad at you when you talk about this shit. You know why? Because it hits a fucking nerve. Because, see, they were raised up with an old mama who groomed them to be her fucking husband-son. Especially if old mama old. Because, you know, mama might have been a hoe when she was in her 20s and 30s. But, you know, once she got to be about 40, 45 and the crow's feet settle in, the ass droop, the titties sag, dudes ain't checking for mom no more. So now mom is old and she can't shake her ass and get somebody to come spend a night. So now, who's she married to now? Now she married to Jesus. She's sitting in the church. She's sanctified. Praise the Lord. She's doing that shit now. I asked about 58 years old and still talking about God gonna send her a husband and all this kind of nonsense. She's at that age now, and now you're an adult. You're an adult. You're the one thing that she could not manage to keep long term. You are a man. You are a male. So of course she wants you still living in the fucking basement. Of course she does. Because, see, you're the one swinging dick that she can control. She couldn't control none of those other Negroes, because if she could, she'd have them there. She couldn't control them anymore. She couldn't get them to do her bidding. But she does have you. And you love your mama. You worship old mama. So, of course, you do her bidding.
Got a question for you, X. I imagine your family, your extended family, they're aware of your channel. Like,
absolutely.
What do the women in your family think about the things that you not the missus, but like your sisters, aunts, things like that? Like, what's their opinion of your channel, sir?
Well, I have 4 sisters, right?
Okay.
Three of them older than me, 1 younger than me. Now, all my sisters are married. They're all married.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all married. Yeah, everybody in my family is married. All my brothers and sisters are married. I was one of the last motherfuckers.
Wow, that's unheard of.
Yeah, I was one of the last motherfuckers to get married. My younger sister got married before I did. You know, I was one of the last few holdouts and shit.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, all my sisters are married. My oldest sister is a widow. Her husband died 5 years ago. But
Hmm.
all of them, all of them were married and married off young and all that kind of shit. And
Wow, great.
they're still with their husbands and shit. But as far as my commentary, they fucking hate it. But they're used to it because this is how I fucking talk to them. Matter of fact, I was talking to my sisters today, and I was telling them what I was going to be talking about tonight, and they was like, "Oh, we ain't watching your ass." Oh, fine. Yeah, they fucking hate it. They hate it. But like my daughters, my wife, because my daughters, they're grown now. They're like in their 20s and shit, so they're used to this shit. They were raised by me, so they're used to this shit. My wife has gotten used to it. She used to hate it, about 3 years ago, but she done came around. So my wife, she already know what's gonna go on. My wife talks this kind of shit now. Yeah, my wife. If you were to sit down and talk to my wife, you would know that she's fucking married to me by the shit she says. Because
Wow.
she says the same shit I say. I'm
Wow.
working on them, man. I'm working on them. I'm working on them, brother Nate. I'm beating it in their heads. But now there's a caveat to that. Because if you go to my wife's side of the family, none of her sisters have husbands. Not one of them. And she got 4. Not one of them got a goddamn husband. But guess what they all got, though?
Children.
Kids.
Yeah.
They all got kids. So, they all baby mamas and all this kind of shit. And, I talk shit. I talk shit to them too. They get to the point. They get to the point now where they will come around if I'm not around. If I'm not home, ex home. I ain't coming over. Because they know if they fuck around and say some bullshit, that figures into my commentary, I'll go into my whole soliloquy and diatribe. So. They careful about what they kind of careful about what they say around me, especially when it comes to kids and all that kind of bullshit. They already know what it is.
And I know they don't have a response at all. You
Absolutely
just lay out
not.
those facts, they don't have a response.
I'm gonna tell you something, brother Nate. When I get to talking this shit, and not just to my sister-in-laws and all these other people, a lot of times when I get to talking this shit, I hear one thing and one thing only. That's what I hear. That's what I hear 99% of the time when I go to talking this shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, these women are so unaccustomed to men. And because of my political beliefs, man, I got a couple of sisters I don't talk to anymore. And my mother doesn't like my political beliefs. Man, these women, 50 years, no one has checked them. No one has checked Black women in 50 years. They've had access to every platform, every news platform, every newspaper, every magazine, play, just you name it, talk show. They got all the access. They've been free to say whatever they want. And now this small group of Black men, they're sending their henchmen like Aaron Fountain over here to see what's going on. And Kevin Samuels is really becoming successful with what he's doing. He's going to bring a whole lot of light to this space, man. And yeah, dude, they're terrified. I have to imagine they are terrified. They have no idea what to do with us,
Nope.
And but man, it's time. It's going to take about probably 20 years of really spitting fire at these women for them to just say, you know what, I give up. This making babies on my own, this strong, independent bullshit, this I don't need a man nonsense. Man, I give up. I mean, you would think they could just look around at their aunts and their mom and their sisters and their cousins and their girlfriends and see all the problems they have and just decide to go a different route, but man, that sisterhood thing is strong, dog. Woo.
Well,
and they're
it's-
terrified.
you see what
They
it
are
is.
terrified of it.
And this is the thing. This is the thing, brother Nate. See, they are not used to men talking like this,
No.
specifically black men. Because
No.
see, we as black men, we're not supposed to say these kind of things, brother Nate.
No.
We're supposed to sit back and take whatever is thrown at us. And because we are men, we are supposed to be strong, silent. We all are supposed to be the strong, silent people. We're not supposed to talk about this kind of stuff. You know, this is one of the secrets we're supposed to keep. Because trust me, the things we talk about online, it's not like only black men know it. These old hoes know it too. It's just that, see, us, we are starting to discuss it now. We're starting to talk about it now. And talk about it in a way that's not flattering. See, if we talked about it in a way, if we got up here and we were like, you know, you black queens, I love y'all to death, but y'all really got some challenges, that y'all need to address. Now, don't get me wrong, sisters. I love all of y'all. I think all of y'all are beautiful, but we got some challenges, that y'all need to face, man, and if y'all do that, you'll have, all these good brothers will be flocking to you, man, because y'all the most beautiful women in the world, and I just want what's best for y'all. If you came up here talking that shit, yeah, they'd be willing to go for it. Now, mind you, they wouldn't fucking do anything you said, but see, you would be more palatable. See, that's the thing, as us black folks. See, we like things that are palatable. If it ain't palatable, because the first thing they say is, oh man, y'all bash women, y'all do this, y'all do that, y'all hate your mother, y'all hate this, you hate black folks. And I tell them like this: what if I do? What if I do hate my mama? What if I do hate black women? Now what? Now what?
Shit.
Now what?
I ain't even thought of that.
Because this is what they say. Oh, you hate yourself. You hate your mom. You hate black women. Okay, fine. Yep. I hate myself. I hate my mom. And I hate you black hoes. Now what? Now what? What comes next? Now you get to go back somewhere and say, yeah, I knew it. I knew he hated his mother. I knew he hated black women. What? What if I do? What if I do hate you hoes? What if I do hate my old mammy? What? What happens next?
I've said for a while now that there needs to be a civil war between the American black bitch and the American black woman.
Yep.
There has to be a civil war between them. Now, one side is going to far outnumber the other. Okay. One side's going to probably have 70% of the troops. The other side, 20, maybe 30. The American black bitches, her forces are going to be triple the forces of the American black woman. But, of course, we would root for the American black woman to win. But what I don't understand is that all these quote unquote good black women, how are you silent in the face of this stuff? They are so scared of whatever reprisals or whatever hell that they would catch from the sisterhood. You let the image of black women go into the toilet like this, man. Black women's image is in the toilet. I mean, just you turn on any reality show, all these videos all over the internet. I mean, just black women fighting and just all this crazy shit. The STD numbers, the out of wedlock numbers, the abortion numbers, all these horrible stats. And they say nothing. The quote unquote good black women, the 20 to 30% of black women whose minds just aren't completely gone on this, I don't need a man shit. They don't say anything, man. I tell them, I say, your silence is your cosign. If you're silent, you're cosigning. you got to stop being so. If there's any, I don't know if there's any women listening, they might be, silent listening. You ladies, if you're a decent black woman and you don't like the image that's being presented, you got to speak up. You got to do something. I mean, because I'm hearing stories that these teenage boys, a lot of them aren't even checking for black girls now. I mean, what are y'all gonna do? 30% of your college educated brothers are now dating and marrying out. What are you gonna do? The only way to stop this bleeding is for the quote unquote good black woman to get up and say something, man. You got to, and you're gonna piss all these other women off, but man, you got to get up and say something. They're never gonna listen to us. If it came down to them listening to us, we might get through to 10, 20% of black women, maybe. The other 70, damn near 80%, they're just going to keep following what they're doing. But I think if you got together a considerable amount of black women calling out all this madness and the STD stats and the out of wedlock stats, just like maybe even giving a press conference, what's wrong with black American women, and just hold a press conference and just lay all this shit out. Put all these black women on notice. Look, you're not going to be getting away with this shit anymore. We're going to, this group of like physically fit, beautiful, demure black women, who are married, are going to call this shit out. Man, I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest with you, but I'm just going through the motions of trying to figure out a solution, and I don't know that there is one, man.
Yeah, well, that's just it. You hear people say this shit all the time, Brother Nate. Oh, you guys don't have any solutions. Y'all just talk about the problem. The solutions. The solutions are in the fucking problem, man. I mean, the solutions are within the fucking problem. And the reason why I believe that these, quote unquote decent women don't speak out is because they empathize. They have empathy for these situations. You know why? Because I believe that a lot of the so-called good ones deep down inside, they just like these other goddamn hoes. It's just that they have a little bit of more discretion, maybe a little more integrity, and they have a little more respect for themselves. Because see, yeah, that's why they don't say anything. That's why they don't call it out. That's why the chicks who do right by the children don't call out the chicks who don't. They don't,
boy. They don't say nothing.
No, because they empathize. They empathize with the hoes. They empathize with the ratchets. They empathize with these women who ain't shit and treat these children like hell, train their daughters to be hoes like them, and train their sons to go and find hoes like them. So, I mean, they empathize with them because, see, deep down inside, shit, a lot of them are probably just like them. It's just that they have a little more discretion. They have a little more inhibition. They have a little more self-control. That's the only thing that's keeping them from doing the same shit that the other hoes are doing. So, of course, they're not going to call it out because a lot of them are probably living vicariously through these hoes. See, they won't get out there and shake their ass and fuck 30 people in a month. But boy, they sure wish they could. They wish they could. So they live vicariously through these hoes, and they say, well, y'all don't know her story. Y'all don't know her story. It's always that, man, with us. We always talk about, y'all don't know her story. But then y'all will jump all over. Y'all will jump all over a man who says, you know what? I don't want to fuck with black women no more. I'm getting me a white chick. I'm getting me an Asian chick. I'm getting me a Latino chick. But you'll jump all over him. You never hear nobody say, well, we don't know the brother's story. We don't know what happened.
No, you'll never hear that.
Nope. Nope, you don't know his story. But when it comes to all this other shit, we need to know the story. We need to know what happened. We need to, put the situation in context and all this whole kind of the foolishness.
Can you
It's like, come on, man.
can you imagine if Sister Scheherazade Ali was able to build an empire like Oprah did, like publishing and just interviews? She was such an incredible speaker.
Yes.
I mean, I saw her. I've seen a few of her speeches, man. Just that maternal beauty, that direct, very clear way of explaining things that an intelligent woman can. Man, and she never caught on, dog. She was never given the lane to blow up like she should have.
Yeah. God. And her and I, we talk about that because her and I, we are actually friends.
Yes.
And we talk about that. And when you think of somebody like Sister Ali, who comes on my show often, she was just on my show about 5-6 months ago. She was actually up on the T.P.O.T YouTube page, Negroes. And she talks about that. She says that women of today are mad at her because, make no mistake, her books are flying off the damn shelves right now. Especially the one, The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman. That's flying off the shelves right now.
Do you think it's black men or black women buying it? Who's buying it? Do you know?
I believe black men are buying it.
Black men are buying it. Gotcha.
Because a lot of black women, they don't like Sister Ali, man.
Oh, I know.
And she talked about that when she came on my show a while back, and she said, well, they all mad at me, X, because I woke y'all men up. They're mad at me for waking you men up. Yeah, man. Because that night, hoes was calling in, man. And because, I got phone lines, right? So I activated the phone lines because Sister Ali was on, and, it was a call-in show, had people calling in. Shit, man. A couple hoes got on in here, man, and start talking crazy. I had to cut them the fuck off.
Talking crazy to Scheherazade Ali?
Came on bitching her and everything. Like, oh, bitch, why are you telling these men to whoop us and slap us?
Are you serious?
Yeah, go look at the tape, man.
Boy, I'd have rolled up a newspaper and knocked that right in her fucking head, dog.
I had to cut the hoes off because they came up here disrespecting my friend.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that shit happened. It happened.
See, if black women understood the level of protection they would get if they thought like a Scheherazade Ali, you want protection? You start talking and sounding like her.
Oh, yeah.
Niggas would die before they let something happen.
If you're a woman that talks the way Sister Ali talks, niggas would be willing to take a bullet for your ass.
Niggas would die to protect
absolutely.
You. Absolutely. And niggas would kill to protect you. Absolutely. Absolutely. But these women, man, oh, God, boy. Man.
Well, you see, this is what it is, right? A lot of these women, which a lot of them aren't, you can't even really call them women because a lot of them ain't nothing but old mamas. That's all they are. Most of them. They're just these old mamas who done dumped out a few kids and don't know how to raise them and don't know how to take care of them. So, and a lot of them came from that. A lot of them came from an old mama, all right, who cared more about chasing dicks and hanging out at the club and at the trap house, doing all the bullshit, cared more about that than them. So what happened? They carried on the tradition. They got out there, fucked and sucked, had all these kids by all these different dudes and all this kind of nonsense, put the dudes in front of the kids, put their hair, their clothes, their wigs, their shoes, and all this bullshit in front of the kids. So you got 2 and 3 generations of children being raised like that. So we can't be surprised. We can't be surprised when these women when these women don't have the basic understanding of, number one, how to deal with men, number two, how to deal with children, because see, they learned how to deal with children from somebody who didn't know how to deal with children, their mama. They learned from her. You can't teach people a language that you don't speak. All right. If I speak Chinese, I can't teach a French speaking person to speak Italian. I mean, this is what we got, you know? I mean, so these women are learning from people who didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. So all they did was watch their old mama. They watched their mama traipse men in and out the goddamn house, right? They watch mama lead them home by themselves. They watch mama struggle, got them living from pillow to post. She leaving them at grandma's house, leaving them at auntie house. She disappearing for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 months. And so as you grow up, you see that shit so much that what happens in your mind, it becomes normalized. So you think nothing of leaving your children by themselves when your oldest child is 9. Because see, mama left you home by yourself when you was 8. So you have no problem leaving your 10-year-old home. So they home watching the 8-year-old, the 6-year-old, the 4-year-old, and 2-year-old. You think that's perfectly normal. Oh, take care of your brothers and sisters. I'm on my way to the trap house. I mean, they think it's perfectly normal. The kid burned the fucking house down and the bitch come back. She ain't even concerned with the kids. She too busy trying to save herself. She'll come right there and tell a fucking lie and say that a babysitter was supposed to come there. Bitch, you know what? You leave them kids home by themselves all the time. Just happened this time they fucking burnt the crib down. I mean, this is what we have. And guess what? The children that she have, more than likely they're going to grow up and do the same fucking thing. All right? Because it's like this what came first, the chicken or the egg fucking scenario, man. This is what we're dealing with, man. And it keeps happening over and over and over and over again. And the cycle never gets broken, man. And all you have is a bunch of fucking people making excuses for it. They don't want to blame these fucking mamas for nothing. They want to blame the way the mama is on white supremacy, on the white power structure, on the system, on the this, on the that. That's what they want to blame it on. Not one time do you ever hear anybody indict their old mama, no matter how bad their mama is. And you know it's motherfuckers on here who had mamas who was crackheads and drunks and had boyfriends and shit that was in their room every night molesting them and shit like that. You know it is, but they will never get up this motherfucker and say it. You know why? Because to them, oh man, y'all are bitches, man, for blaming your mama for things. Oh, you mean blaming her for the things she did? Blaming her for breaking a 2x4 with your fucking head? Oh, you shouldn't say that, right? You keep that secret, because see, that's mom. Man, get the fuck out of here. I'm here to tell you brothers, stop keeping the secrets. Stop.
Did you see Deborah Cooper on OWN? It was maybe last year, the year before. Deborah Cooper was on it. Deborah Cooper's about 300 pounds.
I know who she is.
Okay, and she was on OWN. They were doing a little panel on Black women, and they started talking about obesity, and she blamed her obesity. Swear to God, it's on YouTube. She blamed her obesity on white supremacy and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how they think. How do you blame your obesity on a president that's been in office for 2 years? Yeah. You've been 300 pounds for the past probably 20 years. How does that work?
Motherfucker.
They refuse to accept responsibility for anything. Anything.
You're not allowed. And see, they've taught their sons that. Why do you think Negroes get mad with people like me and you, Brother Nate, with the things we say about these old mamas? Because, see, they have taught their sons the same shit. Oh, don't you blame me for nothing. Don't blame me for throwing you down the steps. Blame white supremacy. Don't you blame me for starving your ass. Blame the white power structure. Don't you blame me for my boyfriend coming in your room at night and touching on you and shit. Blame white supremacy. That's what it is, man. Because see, whenever it comes to mama, see, we want to jump over mama and go back 50, 100, 200, 300 years. See, we could never stay right there because, see, that's what mama does. See, mama never can see past herself. If she's going to jump back, she's going to jump back to the point before she was involved or after. She never brings it back to where it's her, where she can say, well, you know, maybe if I didn't do X, Y, and Z, this wouldn't have happened. Nope. Because even if she do that, she's gonna be like, well, the only reason I did that because of, or pretty much flat out deny it. Because I tell brothers all the time, like, you know, I know your mama broke them 2x4s across your head and burnt your ass with cigarettes and threw your ass down the steps and locked you in the fucking closet and didn't let you eat for 2 days. I said, I know mama did that shit to you, but you got to tell mama that you remember this shit. And if you go to her when you get to be a grown man and talk about this shit, you know what she'll say? Oh, I don't remember that. Or you lying. Now, mind you, this shit happened to you. You still got the motherfucking mark across your head when she broke that 2x4 across your shit 20 years ago. But she'll tell you, you lying. I don't remember that. And her fucking ass is lying. She remember all of that shit. She's hoping that you don't. She's hoping that you've forgotten it. Because, see, she's mama. She's God. All must be forgiven. And the reason why I broke that 2x4 across your head and threw your ass down the stairs and burnt you with cigarettes and not let your ass eat for 3 days, you know why I did that? Because of white supremacy.
And then we get these black men that grow up to blame white supremacy for everything too.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. I mean, you're 19, you refuse to go get a job at Arby's or McDonald's. You slinging your packs or whatever, and it's because of white supremacy. Even though you never tried, you never put in an application, or you put in 2 applications, you didn't get the job. You don't know that it requires determination. You might not get the first 2 jobs. You go to the damn interview, you're not speaking English, you're speaking some ghetto Frankenstein type of English. And you know, you give up because these young ghetto cats, man, they just give up. I mean, yeah, they put in one application, put in another, and they just give up. You know, it's just
That's because they didn't want to do it in the first place. They didn't want to do it in the first place. If you one of them Husb-Sons who done watched your mama do nothing but lay on her fucking back and have y'all, I mean, how motivated are you going to be to get out there and do something for yourself? Your whole life, you watch this woman go through man after man after man, all right? And you finally get up some size and shit. And now she wants you to do, like I said earlier at the top of this stream, she wants you to do all the quote unquote man stuff around the house because you're the man of the house now. You've been the man of the house ever since you were 8, all right? Ever since you were 8, you were the man of the house. So now you grow up and you're very unmotivated. Because the person who so-called is supposed to be your role model, your inspiration, they ain't worth a fucking hill of beans. So how the fuck are you going to be worth a hill of beans when you watching her lazy black ass don't do nothing but lay on her back and have kids and shit? Every other year, she got another one of y'all in her gut. I mean, how can you be motivated when you're, because this isn't like a TV show. This isn't some TV show that you watching every week. This is your fucking life. You're living this. You're living watching your mother not only ruin her life over and over again, but ruining yours because of the position she's putting you in. because of the decisions that she's making, and it's having an effect on you. You're a kid. You're 7, you're 8, you're 9 years old. You can't just pack up and leave and say, I'm out of here. You are stuck dealing with whatever your mother puts in front of you. If she's got creeps at the house, getting high and coming in your room at night, you forced to deal with that shit. If she done took all the fucking rent money and fucked it up on crack and y'all getting evicted, you have to deal with that. If she's taking the money from the lights and the water and all that shit and spending that shit up in the club, you are forced to deal with it. You can't go anywhere. You can't leave. You're a kid. So you have to sit back and watch your mama ruin her life time after time after time after time. But in the process, you're also watching her ruin yours time after time after time after time. So these dudes grow up, man, and they're unmotivated, especially when you're talking about like the millennials. I mean, some of these millennials, man, these are some of the most laziest motherfuckers I ever seen in my motherfucking life. These niggas couldn't even live in my father's house. The way these Negroes are, my father would have threw these motherfuckers out immediately. When they were like 13, he would have threw you the fuck out.
Like you said, these can't even change a tire.
Man, these change a tire.
They can't put a spare on a car.
Man, change a tire. A lot of these dudes can't even turn a motherfucking screwdriver, man. If you tell them to go get a screwdriver and a pair of pliers out of your motherfucking toolbox, they're going to come back with a pair of scissors and a fucking ink pen. That's just the truth. And I don't know how it's like that because I didn't grow up like that. I was raised by a blue-collar, silverback gorilla. All right? When he was working on his cars and shit, guess what? I was 7 years old. I was up under that motherfucker too. You know why? Because he would tell me, go get that 10 millimeter. Go get that half inch. Go get that crescent wrench. Go get that torque bit. I mean, I was doing that when I was like 7 years old. You tell one of these motherfuckers now, one of these millennials, yo, man, look at my toolbox and get an inverted torque bit. Boy, they will look at you like they will look at you, boy, like you just told them to grab a piece of lightning out the sky. Because the first thing they'll say is, what that is? Huh? What's that? It's funny to me because, see, when I was coming up, the shit that's available to young folks now wasn't available to me. I'm in my 50s, all right? I'm in my 50s. So when I was coming up, the things that are available to young people now wasn't available to me. So they have everything in front of them. We got the internet, we got computers, we got all this bullshit, all this information, the shit you can learn, the things you could pick up, the skills that you could build. And these motherfuckers are like as dumb as shit. I tell my wife about it all the time. I'm like, man, these motherfuckers are dumb as shit. I mean, I wouldn't want to do nothing with none of these motherfuckers, man. And it's not even like this complicated shit, all right? I'm a mechanical engineer. So I know more about tools and working processes and measurements and micrometers. I know more about that shit than the rank and file motherfucker because I've been doing this shit for goddamn 3 decades. But when a motherfucker don't know what a screwdriver is, when a motherfucker don't know what a pair of pliers are, a lot of motherfuckers don't know what a toolbox is. You tell man, go get my toolbox. Them motherfuckers will come out the house with a suitcase. They'll come out the house with a motherfucking, they'll come out the house with a motherfucking backpack and shit. I mean, and it's a shame because, see, a lot of these young brothers they were put in a position when they were young, okay? They were put in a position when they were young to where a learning environment was not existent. It didn't exist. It was non-existent, man. So they never learned these things. You know, the things that we learned when we were little boys, they didn't learn this shit.
Yeah.
You know why? Because a lot of them were raised by women. and no male influence, no grandfather, no uncle, no older male cousin, no nothing. Just a bunch of hoes. Just a bunch of hoes. Old hoe ass mama, her old hoe ass friends who had just as many kids and just as many baby daddies as her. Your grandmammy, she was an old hoe, probably still trying to be one, just that her ass too old. You know, they were raised by these people. So they didn't have to come up learning how to change the tire on your bicycle, change the seat on your bicycle, fixing the screen on the door, unclogging the sink, you know, that kind of shit. I mean, man, when I was a kid, man, I was 7, 8, 9 years old, man. My father used to make me clean his fucking smokers, right? And you had to use he would like us to use the lye in the bottom of them. So I'm a little kid. I had to know how to handle lye and shit. You know, I had to know how to use an iron brush. I had to know how to spray that shit off without it getting on me. So, you know, when you come up around men, I mean, you learn all this shit, man. You learn how to use tools and all that kind of shit. I mean, because you're around men, and this is what men do. You know, and I didn't just learn from my old man. You know, I had uncles and other OGs who would be around, and you learned shit from them too. You learn shit from them too. But if you around your old mammy who never has a man around for longer than 2 weeks, guess what? You're not going to be around too many men either, because all the men that are around her, more than likely, none of them are your damn father. All types of men around, none of them your father. And all the men that come around, they only want mama for the rest of the night. They don't want her for the rest of their life. They want her for the rest of the night. They're in by 2, gone by 5. And when they leave, the next thing you know, mama got another little brother, little sister for you.
Wow.
Guess what, y'all? I got little brother or little sister number 9 for y'all. God damn it, where y'all gonna have to watch. God damn it, even though you're only 9 years old. But this is what we have, man. And this whole husband shit, she has to groom you to be this way, man. Because guess what? She knows, even though she pretends that she doesn't know, she know that her black ass gonna get old one day. She ain't gonna be able to hoe and shake her ass and be in the trap house forever. At some point, our old black ass gonna be 60, 65, 70. And guess what? She didn't play her motherfucking cards right when she was younger. So now her ass 65 years old, can barely walk, can barely get around. She got to have one of her dumbass sons there to fucking help take care of her black ass. She got to. She loved that he lived in the attic, so she can yell up there, "Hey, boy, turn that music down." Motherfucker 38. He's 38 years old. Hey, boy, turn that music down up there. Yeah. I mean, if you ever go to Walmart, right? I go to Walmart sometime with my wife, and I fucking hate Walmart. And most of the time, I sit outside. You know, I sit outside, smoke cigars. Yeah, I sit outside, smoke cigars and shit. My wife and they're fucking around buying food and shit. And I just sit out there in the parking lot sometime, and I just look. And I see, of course, you see a bunch of hoes and kids. I mean, that's all you really see. That's 90% of the fucking crowd, hoes and kids. But beyond that, you know, you see older people, you know, people that are like in their 60s and 70s and shit like that. And most of them are women. And a good 80% of them, the old grannies barely getting along. They can barely push the cart, or they riding in one of those, like hover around shopping cart combos in Walmart. They're like 65 years old. They can barely get the grocery in the car. Those are old hoes who played their cards wrong when they were younger. They went out there, fucked, sucked, had kids, did all this bullshit, and never married a motherfucker. And now they're 70 years old and they can barely get the motherfucking grocery bag in the trunk of the car. But you also see something else. Sometimes you see an old couple. And guess what? Old grandma, she ain't got to push the cart. Grandma ain't got to load the grocery.
No, she
Grandma, she ain't even got to drive the motherfucking car because OG got it. And when they get home, OG gonna unload the grocery, help her old feeble ass into the fucking house. And also, if the grass need to be cut, OG got it. If something need to be fixed in the house, OG got it. Because even if OG don't got it, he gonna find somebody to get it.
Absolutely.
All right? And usually, and y'all can look this up, women are more prone to age-related illnesses than we are. So chances are, if you and your wife grow old together, she's probably going to fall feeble before you. She's probably going to suffer from arthritis before you do, and other age-related things. Dementia and shit like that, it affects them more than it affects us. So when she's 60, 65 years old and can barely remember her way back to the house, of course, if you got the OG there, but come on, woman, we don't live over there, we live here. Bring your ass home. But see, if you don't have that element there, it's all fucked up. Go ahead, brother Nate.
Who? Now I'm just listening, man. I'm just imagining your family listening to your broadcast, man.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm telling you,
I know it,
brother Nate. I talk about this shit all the time. Shit, my wife in the room right now. My wife is in here. She in here. She's used to this shit.
No doubt. No doubt.
Because guess what? When we go to Walmart and shit like that, when she come in, because when she come out, she just come to the truck, she get in and I put all the groceries and shit in the car. She's used to that kind of shit. And I could tell the same shit I just told you just now, man, I've said this shit to her like 5 times. I'm like, you see, because we see an old couple. You see that old couple right there? I said, look, old grandma, look at her, barely getting along. I said, but she ain't got to worry about nothing because OG got it. OG drive the car, he load the grocery, he put it in the car, he get her old ass in the house, load the groceries and shit up in there, park the car. He got it. She don't have to worry. I said, you see grandma right there? Grandma played her cards right when she was younger. That's why her and OG is in Walmart right now. Grandma played her cards right when she was young and pretty. So she ended up with OG and her life is a little easier. All grandma really got to do is make her old ass to that stove to cook OG a meal every now and then. She good because he probably do everything else. Mop the floor, do the dishes, clean the bathroom, make the bed. OG got all that covered. All she got to do is make her old ass to that kitchen every now and then and rattle a few pots and it's all gravy.
No, but let that same older woman's granddaughter tell it. That grandma got whooped and beaten by OG. She was abused by OG. OG did nothing but cheat on her and make a bunch of babies. Oh, grandma just suffered under the reign of that terrible OG. Now, come on, Xavier.
Oh, yeah.
You know good and well OG was an abusive, horrible man that didn't do nothing for nobody. And he was a rolling stone. And the reason granddaughters alone, because all the horrible stories grandma told her about how bad grandpa was to her and how bad her daddy was to her mama and all this bullshit, man. It's just,
but guess what?
90% of it is fucking bullshit.
She still even if any of it's true, she's still walking her old feeble ass right behind OG, because she know if he wasn't there, her motherfucking life would be 1,000 times more motherfucking difficult. I had told this story before, man, a while back. I was up at Navant one day, right? The Navant Medical Center, right? I had went up there to take somebody there to get a physical, right? So they went in to get their physical, and I went down to the lobby, to get me a coffee, and the fucking coffee was like $7 a cup type shit. So I went down there and got me a cup of coffee and a motherfucking I think I had like a Danish or some shit. And I'm sitting there because the coffee lounge is right by the main door. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching people come, in and out, because X always looking for material. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching the OGs come in, right? And the old brothers are coming in, and every one of those old brothers, I must have seen maybe 15, 20 old brothers come in there. They must have been in like the 60s or 70s. And every single one of them that came in there had somebody with them. They either had a young man with them, a young girl with them, a nurse's aide or some shit. I was like, wow. I said, this shit's a little easier for these old G's. They had somebody in there helping them, pushing their wheelchair, walking with them with their walker, whether it was a nurse's aide or a clinical aide or a young woman, they all had somebody with them. But on the other side of that, I also seen a whole bunch of old goddamn hoes. And every single one of them old ass women came in there by their fucking selves. I was like, how the fuck is this? The old G's, because I guess like the senior, the doctors for older folks was where I was at. So that's where all the older folks was going. And all the old G's had somebody come in there with them. But every single one of them old ass women came in there by themselves, barely getting along in their walker. One old woman, she must have been about 70 years old. She was rolling her own wheelchair. I said, ain't this a bitch? I said, how the hell all these old G's got people with them, but these old ass women, they by themselves? You know at least 90% of them got kids. It's like, damn, they can't even get their kids to bring them to the fucking doctor to roll their wheelchair and walk with them on no shit like that. Like, and it's crazy because what was really crazy, and I told my wife about this, I said, some of them old hoes still had the whole twinkle in their eye. I'm like, I'm sitting in that motherfucker like, because they had that whole twinkle. You know how they have that old whole twinkle still in their eye. Bitch, 75. Still got that whole twinkle in her eye, boy. Walking on a fucking walker. How you got the whole twinkle in your eye and you on a walker? Grandma, you can't do nothing with a penis right now. You can barely piss. That old pussy can barely piss. It can't do nothing with a dick at this point, So as I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, I'm like, damn, this is a damn shame. You got these old ass women coming in here. They got the whole twinkle in their eye. They just can barely walk. And they can't get their kids here. Obviously, no motherfucking man in sight. Because if he was, he'd be helping get along in there and all that kind of shit. I said, this is classic shit, man. Because this is the future of many of these women.
Yeah.
Because they're so prone to health problems and arthritis and dementia and all this kind of shit, this is the future. Because 30, 40 years from now, I'll be another motherfucker sitting at Novant just like me. And by then, the coffee will be $15 a cup. And he'll be sitting there and he'll be watching the door. And he'll be watching all these old ass women coming there by themselves, barely getting along, while the OGs got little young girls and young guys and nurses' aides and shit like that. Because, see, you know what it is. I'll tell you what it is. An old man's net worth is higher than an old woman. Because, see, You see these old ass women, they subject to health problems. So guess what a lot of them can't do? Even if they are able to kind of get around a little bit, a lot of them can't get out there and do anything, right? But you'll see an old G, he'll be like 75 and have a damn job as a fucking security guard,
That's
as a
true.
janitor, as a, because old G, he'd get out there and, do something, have him a little money, and just have some shit shaved. So, once he get kind of feeble, he can hire him a motherfucking nurse's aide or a clinical aide, to roll him up into the fucking doctor's appointment. But see, these old women, they get old and they're fucking worthless, man. They're worthless. They don't have any money. They don't have anybody around. They don't have anybody around to take care of this shit. Because guess what? A lot of these old bitches, their kids don't want to be bothered with their old ass because they miserable as a motherfucker. They've been making their kids miserable for the past 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
So now that the kids finally got a way to get the fuck away from them, they do. And they leave her old, demented, feeble on a walker ass to her own devices. And she fucked up because, see, she ain't had a man around for 35 years. So now she's just this old woman in the park feeding pigeons and probably living in some fucking apartment where she got to have 11 locks on the door because, that's the only place she can afford to live. You knock on her fucking door, all you hear is click, 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 because this bitch got 99 locks on the fucking door. Like, goddamn, how many locks you need on this one? How many locks do you need on here, Granny? You knock on the door. Click, 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 click. What the fuck? This shit is crazy, man. But this is what happens when you married to mama. Let me tell you, Husb-Sons, something. If you live with your mama and you are a son and you are 17, you're 18 years old, I advise you, young man, get the fuck away from your mama. Number one, the reason why you need to divorce her ass so you can be free, so you can expand your horizons, so you can get out from under that mama worship shit. And not only that, maybe, just maybe, if you divorce your old mama, she might be tempted to get out there and get a real husband. Think about it, brothers.
Yeah, that's true.
Because as long as you there, she don't need one. She don't need one. You're there. But if grandma, if your mama old, if you still living in mom's basement at like 40 years old, you might as well just go ahead and stay there, motherfucker, because you're a fucking loser at this point. If you're 40 years old and you live in mom's basement, you're a fucking loser. Just continue to live there. Fuck it.
Well, no, Xavier, no man is better. No man is better than any other man, Xavier. You know that. Don't say he's a loser.
Shit.
Xavier, don't. Xavier, you can't call him a loser.
I tell you motherfuckers right now, and you can write me and talk all the shit you want. If you 30, 35, 40 years old and you still living in your mama's basement, you're a fucking loser. I don't give a fuck what anybody else tells you, motherfucker. You still living with your mama? You still living with your mama? You in your 30s? You're a fucking loser, man. Yeah. You're a loser.
You're an elitist, Xavier. You're an elitist.
Whatever. 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 Because guess what? Because as long as you stand in your mama house, nigga, you're never really gonna become a man as long as you living under your mama's roof, man.
Never.
That's just the truth. And that's what motherfuckers don't want to say to brothers. You are never going to be a man as long as you living under your mama's roof, man. You're still always a fucking boy. You are going to be a fucking boy. And that's just what it is. Now, you probably got a lot of motherfuckers on here who live in grandma's attic and get up here and tell you how to live and how to be a man and talk about code and all sort kind of nonsense. But meanwhile, they married to their old mama. You know why? Because these niggas is 35 and still living in her house. Still living in her house. Come on, man. We got to call this shit out, man. We got to. But see, me, I want brothers to be free. That's why I say the shit I say. All right? And that's why I have no fucking problem going in on these old mamas. Because I know she is part and parcel to your imprisonment. I know that she is mainly the reason why your ass is still there. Because she ain't going to kick you out. She ain't going to kick you out. She will let you live that motherfucker till she dead. She don't care that you live there. Now she'll kick your younger sister out. Yeah. You can be 35 still living in the attic. But boy, if your sister 15, 16, and she done start to develop some titties and some ass, and dudes starting to knock on that door and look for her, and don't let mama have a boyfriend and he be cutting his eye at that young girl, shit. Daughter got to get the fuck out. But your 40-year-old ass can continue to live there. Think about that. Because I know it's motherfuckers out there who it has happened to. Motherfucker 35 years old, still living in mom's basement, but she kicked the 16-year-old daughter out. What sense does that make? The person who needs you the most, you throw them out. But the person you need the most, you keep there. There it is. It's the truth. Divorce your mom, brothers. Divorce her. I know you love her, but she's a detriment, brothers. She's killing you from the inside out. She's killing you, man. You'll never be free, man. But I'm gonna wrap this up, man. Any parting shots, brother Nate, before we peel out of here?
Nah, bro, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. Just you can email me. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone either, bro. You can always holler.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I got your number.
Always holler, man. Just let me know. If you don't see the email in a reasonable amount of time, just pick up the line, bro. No problem.
We cross paths, we travel in the same circle, so I know I'll always run into you, man. But I appreciate you coming on as always, man. You know, your perspective is always welcome on the T.P.O.T YouTube page, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. I just want to get up here and do this rant tonight. I hadn't did one in a while, y'all. So I figured I would come up here and get on one right quick. You know, I say these things, man. I don't look. Let me turn my camera on so y'all can see my face. This is what I want you brothers to understand about OX, right? I get up here and I say these things because a lot of you, the shit I say, your fucking daddy should have told you. But maybe he wasn't around to tell you this shit. So I tell it to you myself. I know a lot of y'all love your old mammies to death because that's all you had. Despite of how bad she treated you, she made sure your ass survived to the age of 18. I get it. And I know as black people, we've been taught that our mom is the greatest thing ever. She's the greatest person ever. Without her, it would be no you and all this kind of crap. And there's some truth to it. All right? There's some truth to it. Without her, it wouldn't be you. But also without your pappy, it wouldn't be your black ass either. So we can't give that too much credit or credence either. But I know a lot of you love your old mammy. Y'all think she's the best thing since Jordans came out and all that kind of shit. I know it. She's indoctrinated you to believe this. So of course you believe it. But what you got to understand is men, once you get to be a certain age, man, you don't need your old mammy. You just don't. She needs you more than you need her. Especially a young man. You don't need your black ass mammy. You can get out there, man, and do anything you want to do. Because the last motherfucking thing you want to do is be listening to her fucking advice anyway. Because any motherfucking thing she tell you, do the fucking opposite. Because she don't know what it is to be a man. She don't. She has no idea about manhood. None whatsoever. Her idea of manhood is based on the motherfuckers her black ass fucked all throughout your life. And notice how none of them motherfuckers are around. Notice how none of them are around, including your father. Especially if it's 7, 8, 9 of y'all. Y'all all close in age. Y'all already know what happened. Shit, she laid down, fucked, had your ass, and 6, 7 months later, she's right back on another penis and another one right in her gut. She didn't give a fuck about you, man. Despite of what the fuck she be telling you. Despite of what these other niggas tell you. Look back. Think back all the shit your mama did, man. Does that sound like a person that gave a fuck about you? Oh, she gave a fuck about you when she was throwing your ass down the stairs. Beating you with a motherfucking rods and belts and shit. Oh, that was her caring, right? That was part of her love. That's how she showed her love. By breaking a stick across your damn back. Going across your head with that mop handle. Yeah, that's how she showed her love. Person didn't love you, man. She dehumanized your ass. She didn't even treat you like a fucking person. You're like a property. These women treat their kids worse than I treat my fucking dog. I say this all the time. I got a big old black dog in the backyard. That motherfucker don't go one day without eating. If I see fleas on him, I buy him medicine and shit. Wash him, bathe him. I don't even beat him. And he fucking takes shits in places I don't want him taking them. But he don't go one day without eating. Not one day. Let motherfucker live good. So why do I have to see children being treated worse than I treat my fucking dog? That's what kills me. And that's why I say the shit I say about these old mammies. That's why I do it. Because to be honest, I don't give a shit what these women do. They're fucking adults. Do whatever you want. But when that shit start to affect the little ones, that's when it's a problem. When the sacrifices won't be made. When the children's well-being is not put up here. When you're not focused on their education, their development. These fucking little kids can't read, can't write, can't count, can't spell. But they can cuss. Know every word to make the stallion song and all this kind of nonsense. And they 4 and 5. Where are they learning this shit? If they ain't learning it from her ass. And you always hear people say, oh, it's the music, it's the this, it's the that. Well, who's giving them access to it? They're fucking kids. They ain't got no money. If the bitch can't afford shit to buy for the kids, well, she's buying the music. She's buying the TVs. She's buying the fucking PlayStations and Xboxes, and she's buying it. But the bitch ain't buying no books. She ain't buying no study materials. So these little motherfuckers can learn how to read, write, count. Know the ABCs, learn colors, shit like that. She ain't buying none of that. But for some reason, we're not supposed to mention it. We're not supposed to talk about it. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. We always talk about how the future of black society. So how come I never hear motherfuckers talking about the children? Because if you're talking about the future of black society, aren't the children it? I've said this many, many times. If you're talking about the future of black society, man, the children are it. There's no way around it. So if we're going to have a bunch of these hoes raising these kids, don't you think they should be doing a better job? Or they shouldn't have them. They shouldn't have them. And I'll say this, and I said it before. If you a woman and you done had some babies, especially your sons, and their fathers or fathers plural, because I know y'all don't know how to fucking just have babies by one dude. You got to have babies by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100 motherfuckers. None of their fathers are around and willing to deal with these children. They've made it obvious that they don't want anything to do with these children. There's not a lot you can do about that. Now, on the other side of that, if the man wants to be in the children's lives, let him. I don't give a fuck if the Negro broke. Because he can offer more broke, living in a damn treehouse in the woods, than you can offer that boy living in your fucking mansion in Beverly Hills. That's just the truth. He'll learn more going to his father's treehouse every weekend like Tarzan, and they got banana leaves over their genitals. He will learn more at the treehouse on the weekends with his old man than he will with your black ass inside your mansion. That's just the truth. A lot of these women, you need to dust off your motherfucking egos and do what's really best for the kid. And a lot of times what's best for the kid is give that man access to his child. Fuck what you feel. Fuck the fact that he don't want your black ass no more. Get over it. And think about what's really best for the kid. Not you, the kid. Now, if you're in a situation where the father absolutely positively has made it obvious that he don't want to be bothered with the kid, or maybe your black ass don't know who the daddy is because you done laid down with so many Negroes. Once them boys are old enough to walk, talk, and think, you need to go right ahead and let your father, your grandfather, your uncle, somebody raise that kid. Because, see, that's what's going to be what's best for him. That's what's going to be what's best for the kid. They're going to do a better job than you. It's just the truth. Men will do a better job of raising a kid. If he wants that kid, he will do a better job of raising that kid, even if it's his first kid. It'll be kid number 5 for you. It'll be his first kid, and he'll still do a better job. Because men, let's face it, when it comes to our children, man, we don't have a problem sacrificing. We'll sacrifice anything. We'll sacrifice money. We'll sacrifice our own needs and wants. We'll sacrifice where we live, where we work. A lot of times, we'll even sacrifice our motherfucking dignity when it comes to those little ones. Because when a man is in a child's life, those children are the most important thing to him. Period. Period. But we've seen time and time again, brothers, when it comes to some of these women, don't look like the kids are the most important thing. They're not the priority. They're not the main event. They're not. All the other shit is. How many dicks they can chase. How many likes they can get. How many nights they can be at the club. How many dresses, shoes and shit they have, and wigs and shit. We've seen it time and time again. And these children suffer, man. They suffer. They suffer because these sacrifices are not being made for them. And you definitely suffer if you're a husband. Because if you one of them, you ain't never going to be free. You're never going to be free, man. Never. A lot of y'all are Husb-Sons right now. Told you. Your ass 35. Still living with your old mammy. Living in the same bedroom you lived in when you was 12. Been living there for 23 years. Got the same bed and shit. Got that same little car bed. You know those beds? You know those beds that you used to have when you was a kid? They were shaped like a car or a boat or something. You still got the fucking car bed, man. Break out of it. Free yourself. Yeah, I know mama done convinced you that you can't do it. Which you probably can. If you like 40 and you still there, you probably can't. But if you can build up the gumption, get the fuck out of there. Watch how your life changes, man. You don't be running back to mama house every other motherfucking day. Let an old black ass get used to being by herself. Who knows? Who knows? She might even learn to appreciate you more if you ain't around as much. She might just appreciate you more. Because now she takes you for granted. Told you. You like her pseudo husband now. You're 35 years old. You're the one man she could keep around for longer than 6 months. She don't want you to go nowhere. She wants you to stay right there, helping her ass. Because she needs you. She needs you more than you need her. That's just the truth. And I know your old mama now, you know, she's 60, she's 70, and you know, she in church every Sunday with them big hats on and got her tambourine and praise the Lord. Yeah, I know she all churchy and sanctified now. But even that's a cover. She's seeking penance, man. For all the shit she did when you were younger. A black ass wasn't in church when she was 30, was she? Wasn't in church then, was she? When ass was 25 and 30, she wasn't shaking that tambourine, was she? She was shaking her ass then, right? Yeah. See, now she's too old to shake her ass. She got an artificial hip. She got that artificial hip. So the only thing she can shake now is that motherfucking tambourine. But the only way you're going to be free, man, the only way you're going to grow the fuck up is by getting out of mama's house. That's just the truth. Anybody that tells you anything different is a fucking fool, man. You're never going to be free. You're never going to really consider yourself a man for real until you move out of the fuck mama's house. Got to get out of mama's basement. Got to get out of mama's attic. Shit, she's not really going to look at you like a man till you get the fuck out of there. Why should she? You living in her damn cellar. Why should she consider you to be a man? Because guess what? If you was really a man, you wouldn't fucking be living there. That's one thing I agree with your old mama about. If you was really a man, you wouldn't be living there. Especially not if your ass 35. Especially if you're 35. But I'll tell y'all this, man, before we get out of here. Black society is never going to see its rise, its independence, its true freedom until men fall out of love with they old mammies. Now, I'm not telling you not to love your mama. Yeah, you should love her. I would never tell you not to love her. But, man, don't fucking deify her, man. And don't make your fucking mama your world. Because if your mama's your world, your motherfucking world going to be real small, real limited. Real small, real limited. Trust me. And those of you who are living in that situation now, watch how things change when you cut the fucking umbilical cord. I know you love old mammy. I mean, after all, you are her husband. But it's time to divorce old mama, man. You have to mentally divorce her. Cut the fucking umbilical cord. Grow the fuck up. Because guess what? A lot of other people are not going to respect you either, man. As long as you living under mama's roof, under mama's rules, and under mama's motherfucking skirt. All right? All right. So, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man. Good shit tonight. My brothers, I appreciate everybody who came through. I'm going to run a few of my commercials, and then we're going to peel on out of here. See y'all on the other side.
Open your mind.
Hey guys, T.P.O.T. on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But you knew that already. Peace, folks. Open your mind. Wednesday, we throw down in the digital square circle on Hours of Power debates. Thursday, we get at it with D.X.L, Dark Exodus Live. So come through, 9:30 p.m., right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You know.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up tonight, man. I want to thank my brother BMT and my man, Little Big Nate, for coming through tonight, man. And I also want to thank all you good folks, man, for hanging out with us tonight, man, and watching us, spending some time with us, man. It's always appreciated, man. I appreciate all the super chats, all the donations as well. Y'all, my folks, it's always good to be up here with you good folks. And I know I may have hurt some of y'all feelings talking about your old mammy, but y'all know what I'm saying is true. And if you really want to get at old mama, drop me a line, because if you want me to, you know I will haunt your old black ass mama in her dreams. Yeah, all you gotta do is call me. Call me and I'll come haunt her black ass in her dreams. But once again, man, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, man. I don't know if we're gonna have a debate Saturday. I'm not sure. I haven't finalized anything, but look for the thumbnail tomorrow. And if we're gonna throw down, I will have something up. But y'all know we throwing down on Wednesday. I got a good debate coming up for Wednesday. I think y'all are gonna like this one. But I don't know what we're gonna do on Saturday. So just stay tuned to the TPOT YouTube page, and you will see what's going on. All right. So with that, I will leave you with 3 words. Like I always do.
Open your mind. The prophet of thought.
Peace, folks.
Open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. Positive thought.
Only from the Prophet of Thought series media.
You know, you know, you know, you know, you know.
Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.